My perspectives on social control. A look at social control in my life as it relates to me. What is social control? Social control are behaviors and actions that blend in with your surrounding social group. There are also behaviors and actions that are the opposite um, and are seen as deviant behavior. Behaviors or actions that are opposite are seen as deviance or deviant behavior. Some examples of this are at my work where I work now. It's mostly African American women, and oftentimes I have a lot of mixture in my family, and my hair is a little different, and my coworkers expect me to um, not wear my hair in weave like they do, or um, they expect me to, wear it down or curly because my hair is longer. And typically in African American communities, women who wear weave don't have long hair. So when I wear weave, they get upset because they feel like my hair is long and I don't need it, and I just need to comb my hair. And I've heard many comments from my coworkers. So this would be an example of them putting pressure on me to be more like the group and to wear my hair out because it's longer. That's just a silly example. But another one would be my family is really big into going to school. Due to me taking care of a family member, I wasn't really able to, but they still continue to put pressure on me. And then another one was my church members expecting me to attend church at 7 in the morning when to start volunteering when church doesn't start till 9, when I have family responsibilities I have to take care of that sometimes I just can't participate. So these are all ways that I've dealt with social control in like my daily life. Um, Social control um, is needed, especially if it can affect your quality of life. Um, there may be times like at work where you may need to be like your coworkers or like fit in with the culture, because it can lead to termination, which can lead to having a lower socioeconomic status. um Same with housing. There may be like unspoken rules like, being respectful to your neighbors, not having loud music, being clean, not having smells coming from your apartment, even though these things may not be in your lease. If you rent, um, or like if you have a home, making sure that um, same things apply, not having loud music, even though that, you know, people may not write these things down, they're just acceptable, and can affect your overall quality of life if something happens to your housing. Maintain a healthy lifestyle is an example of this, so that you don't become ill, and you can continue to have complete wellness. Another time social control is needed is when you're a threat to others. Um, some of Sometimes, so the enforcing of like the police, to make sure that the public is staying within the guidelines of what's acceptable. Hiring security at public and private events to make sure that people are following along with the behaviors that are acceptable for those events. Deans within schools would be a good example of controlling behavior and having common behavior for for a bigger purpose. The types of social control are negative, positive, informal and formal. So, I had some examples of this. A negative um, would be, there was a time I was invited to one of my friends' wedding because I have a really busy schedule. That was a negative consequence of not fitting in with my group. Positive would be I get a thank you card for one of my friends for being a great friend. Informal would be, something that's a little bit more subliminal. Um, so like not getting my hair and nails done for an event, and then not getting invited to the next event, even though this is something that maybe wasn't spoken. Maybe if everybody there put more effort into their looks, maybe, they might get invited back. Formal would be receiving an award. And when I was 15, I received an award for outstanding performance in piano. I play piano and art and poetry. I won 3 awards. That's something more formal. So there are times that the use of control can have a negative consequences because there's a misuse of power. The church leader in the documentary was a perfect example of this. He had many ways that he manipulated and controlled his people. Some of the ones that really stood out to me was the way he isolated his members, or threatened to isolate them with like threatening with excommunication, choosing which men get to procreate. It's a huge one, because most, men probably don't want to be alone, and so they felt controlled by that. Members of the community not being able to learn how to read past a certain grade level, and pressuring them with damnation, telling the community that he was the president of the United States, and then having his community follow was huge. This is an example of just over control. There are many ways that we also allow the media to control us. I included a really funny video of the different ways, personalities that each social media site has. And this was really funny to me because I think that each social media site has ways that they allow the sites to control us, or like streamline us to fit in with what they're trying to go along with their culture. For example, Instagram automatically wants to see how many followers you have. They want you to create a hashtag. They want you to brand yourself. Facebook immediately goes into asking a ton of very personal information that really is nobody's business. So they're very, they dig very deeply into who you are, into your identity. And I kind of included some pictures and examples of this. But in conclusion, social control can be very good. It can be very bad. There's many times, as I said in my presentation, that it has been used to, create a peaceful environment, but there's also been times it's been used to create a hostile environment that's over controlled. It is my hope and my desire that, in my personal life, that I continue to allow social control to learning about social control to encourage me, influence me to be aware of when I'm being controlled, and also when I can use it to help to, as I grow in my leadership positions in nursing, to know when to use it for the good in my field. Thank you so much.